Good morning, One Wheel fans. This morning, Fun Size Float is going to show you how to protect the rails of your one wheel for less than $1 using some rubbing alcohol and a napkin, some masking tape, and some Gorilla Tape. Here we go. I'm going to start with a bit of rubbing alcohol just to clean off any road goo that's on there. I've only been riding it for really a day and we've managed to ding it up riding with fun-sized people, but not too much dirt on it yet. And the dinging up is exactly why we're doing this. The downside of doing rail guards out of tape is that you're not any longer going to be able to see the Pint written here. But maybe down the road we get real rail guards. But for now, I'm going to take that. As your alcohol is drying, it evaporates pretty quick. That's why I used alcohol and not some other cleaner. Really preps it nice for the sticky surface. You're going to want to start with masking tape. Masking tape does not leave a lot of residue, but it will keep the residue off your board so you're not constantly getting duct tape goo built up on there. So, top to bottom, bottom to top, doesn't really matter. Just carefully line it up with where the rail meets the board's surface. I would recommend using like a 2-inch masking tape, but I didn't have any. So 2 rounds of this is gonna do it for me. So, masking tape is pretty cheap. I just didn't want to leave the house. I wanted to do this. I don't have a store within One Wheel range in this cold weather that sells masking tape, so I didn't want to leave the house. So just pushing this on there. Don't want any wrinkles or bubbles. And the rail material does wrap under here a little bit, so I did wrap that around, and I'm going to cover that with masking or duct tape as well. So I'm using some white Gorilla Tape. It comes in a few colors. I went with white. I think that'll look sharp on there. If you want something real fancy, they make duct tape in all sorts of patterns and colors, so you can get something you like. I already did the other side, so this is cut at the proper angle, so I'm going to go ahead and start that down here. And take my razor blade and just cut the tape off without pressing on the board, just to get a rough cut. And then I'm going to just pull this back a bit and find where the angle starts and just cut it straight down. And underneath. This should pull off. Can't quite get this through on this top piece here. Better to have to cut over it a time or two than to put some deep gouge in your board plastic in your bumper. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this around. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the masking tape off of this end. So you can kind of make indentations where those buttons are, and we'll get those cut out. I'm just gonna do my best to follow the rim here. When I did the other side, I cut the masking tape, so I only had one layer, and it mostly worked. I'm trying. No, I did not cut the masking tape, as you saw prior here. Alright, now we can totally get to our power button. I will clean up this masking tape here. I don't have some silly cheap green stuff sticking out there. I'm actually go get some tweezers and come back for that, so I'm not scratching that up. We're just gonna keep going. There's our charging port. I'm gonna go grab some tweezers for that green tape. Finish getting this masking tape out of here. I want my board rails to cost a few pennies each. I don't want them to look like they cost a few pennies each. With a $4.50 roll of duct tape and masking tape I had at home, we have a nice one-wheel rail protector. That's white, it's gonna get dirty, but we can replace it for, what, 70 cents in material here? It's gonna be awesome.